There's a show on Apple TV called Ted Lasso. And if you haven't seen it, I really recommend it. The odd thing about it is that it grew out of a character that began as a TV commercial. When I think NBC got the English Premier League, Jason Sudeikis did this character named Ted Lasso, who was an American football coach who ended up going to England to coach football, soccer. When it came out, I didn't watch it. I had no desire to watch it. It felt like a gimmicky thing. And a friend of mine said, you need to watch this show. And I did. And it's brilliant. It is one of the kindest shows I've ever seen on television. And if you listen to the program, you've heard me talk about Michael Schur and The Good Place and Parks and Rec and Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like shows that are kind, shows that are about kindness between people, that do not have a darkness to them. And Ted Lasso is that show. It is the show about kindness and optimism in the face of darkness around you. And every Friday, when the new episodes come out, it breaks me. And this week was no different. And I won't ruin the show for you because you need to experience that kindness as it happens on the show. But there's a scene where he's shooting darts against the guy who played Giles in Buffy, the TV show. I have come to find out that he generally plays assholes on TV. I had no idea. I only know him from Buffy, where he was not an asshole, save for a few, moments here or there. And there's this line that the whole scene is built around. It's a Walt Whitman quote. Be curious, not judgmental. I've watched this scene 24 times since Friday. It's a minute and a half. I've cried every time I watched it because it is the essence of humanity. And I've been reflecting a lot since Friday, since Justice Ginsburg passed away, and reaching out to my friends to find out if they're okay, and reflecting on the Black Lives Matter protests and reaching out to my friends and asking if they're okay, and knowing that I have been powerless in my own way to change any of their experiences. All I can do is offer to sit. And there's nothing that feels like you're less powerful or that you have agency than to know that your friends are in pain and afraid, and to have no ability to fix or change any of that. Be curious and not judgmental, and putting those two experiences next to each other. I think that I've watched that scene over and over again. That show, Ted Lasso, that show is the exact opposite of what toxic masculinity is. It is about defining manhood not as competition, but as compassion. And to be curious and not judgmental. To not believe that you need to know everything, and to not believe that knowing everything is the goal. But instead, the goal should be to be curious and to help people find their way, and to want to know about people as they find their way. It's such a simple philosophy. It's such a simple idea. And yet, every time I watch it again, I've watched it 24 times, it strikes me that it's taken 48 years to hear that and know that and to see that. And just reflecting on everything in my life, in the world around me, it has made me profoundly sad. And this is not a new realization, not something that I just came to, but it's one of those moments where in art, you are given a clarity for a feeling that you've had. And I've told folks, the last 3.5 years of trauma therapy that I've done have unlocked an ability in me that regular people have, right? Which is to deal with your emotions and to be okay with them, to feel safe with them. And then you see, be curious, not judgmental. And I think, why are we not And when I say we, I very specifically mean men, and more specifically mean white men, not fostering that. To be curious and not judgmental. Because it does make the world a better place when you do that. It just does. And I say all that because I just got done listening to the interview you're about to hear. And Whitney and I have become friends off air. And knowing how that friendship has evolved in the last month and a half, and hearing the things she says and the things that she doesn't say is profound to me. And you'll hear it because if you have people of color in your life and you are like me, a white person, you will hear the moments of editing that happen. You will hear the moments when she doesn't say all of the things that maybe she wanted to say because there is not a safety in that. And it's a reminder, people like me, that no matter how much work you think you've done and no matter what kind of space you think you've cleared, it's not enough. The work's not done. You doing it just for you isn't enough. There's a whole world out there that we need to continue to fight for. And keep in your heart to be curious and not judgmental.